Introducing the Profit with Law podcast, episode 001. Are you ready to make your law firm a profit-generating machine that will free up your time and skyrocket your impact? With more than 2 decades of business growth experience and having proven that you can be successful while prioritizing your family and your impact, introducing the Profit with Law podcast. I am your host, the creator of the Firm Differentiator 10X Effect, Moshe Amsel. Hi there, my name is Moshe Amsel, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Profit with Law podcast. This is episode 1. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you what to expect from the show, what it's about, and how we're going to run this, the frequency, and what type of show you could expect. So real quick, let's just jump right into the name, Profit with Law. The word profit is what you have left as a business owner after all expenses are paid and all revenue has come in. And the problem is that many businesses run without a profit. And profit is different than the pay that you are receiving if you're working as an owner in the business. Because let's say you were to turn around and want to sell your law firm, they would have to replace you and they would have to hire somebody to do the work that you're doing in the firm. And that has a cost. And that cost is the cost of your labor. And that is not included in the profit calculation. So even if your firm netted, say, $80,000 this past year, if that is what it would cost to replace you, that same $80,000, then the profit was zero. So that's the word profit so that we understand what we're talking about. It's really having a large profit is really the secret to growing wealth and being able to create impact in this world. And that's why a lot of people have started their firms in the first place. So profit is really important. And then with law this is all about law firms and law firm growth. It's directed for attorneys who are running solo practices or are just at the beginning of their growth journey, as well as people who have been doing this for a while, but they want to grow the firm larger than it is. You've kind of been on the same trajectory for a number of years, and you want to grow it further. Or if you're looking to start a firm, a lot of the things that we're going to talk about are going to be very, very useful to you. So Profit with Law is the name, and it's going to be focusing on the business side of law, and we're not going to get into aspects of legal nature at all as we go through the show. Now, here's what you can expect from me. We're going to produce the show weekly. So every Tuesday morning, when you open up your podcast app and you refresh, you should see a new show from us. And we hope to not let you down and have it be like clockwork there for you. Now, the type of show that we're going to run is going to be a mix between solo episodes by myself, as well as episodes where we bring on guests and we do an interview style show to get information from that guest about their area of expertise. The solo shows that you can expect from me are going to range on all kinds of business topics. So we'll cover marketing and sales strategies. We'll cover operational topics. We'll cover financial discussions and, how to treat the finances in your firm and cash flow and profit and all of those exciting things that I love to talk about. And finally, I'm also going to do book discussions because I love to read, and there's a ton of value out there in many of the books available that talk about running a business or self-help. I'd like to pepper some of that in because it's something that I am constantly doing, and being able to share that with you, I think, would be invaluable. As far as the guests that come onto the show, we're primarily going to keep it to this list, but we may surprise you every once in a while. So we'll have other podcast hosts in the legal and business arena that we'll bring onto the show and let them share some of their knowledge and experiences with you. We'll also have industry leaders within the law industry, so people who are talking on stages and you would see at events that you've basically heard about speaking on specific topics within the business of law. And we'll also have vendors. We'll have, owners of software companies or other service-based companies that service the law industry so that you can understand how their product or service would be something that would be of value to you and your firm. And then finally, and this is the most exciting one, is other law firm owners. And I'd like to get as many law firm owners as I can onto the show because every person's experience when they grow their business is unique. No two businesses follow the same exact trajectory, and there's always a nugget of value. There's always something that somebody will share that you'll be able to say, wow, that was worth listening to, and that was something that I can now either do in my business or not make that same mistake again. So I'm very excited to have the opportunity to be able to interview other law firm owners and be able to bring that to you. Now, just some housekeeping stuff. If you want to make sure that you never miss an episode that we release, the best way to do that is to subscribe to the show, and you can do that within your favorite podcast player application and just press that subscribe button. And this way you'll be notified every single time that we release a new episode. We will hopefully be peppering in some bonus episodes as well on top of our weekly show on every Tuesday. And the reason that I'm not committing to that is because unless you've run a podcast before, you might not realize how much work goes into the production of it, and staying consistent with whatever schedule you set is not an easy task. So I didn't want to overcommit and then not deliver that to you, but I would love to over-deliver what I've committed. So hopefully you'll get more than one episode a week, but my commitment to you for this show is an episode every Tuesday morning. So besides for subscribing to the podcast, there's some things that you can do that will help us rank and show up in searches. And there are things that you can do just to spread the word and allow other people to get the great information that we're going to get here. And that is you can go into your podcast application and rate and review this show. Now, please don't do that until you've listened to a couple of episodes and you really have determined whether or not you like the show or don't like the show. This episode is certainly not the right one to choose whether to rate or review the show. There's not a lot of content in it. I'm really just setting the groundwork here for what to expect. But go ahead and listen to episode 2 and episode 3. And once you have listened to episode 3, at that point, if you can give us a great rating and a review, that would be great. If you don't like the show and you want to leave us some negative feedback, you can do that. But we would appreciate it if you didn't do that publicly and shared it with us privately, which you certainly can do on our social media channels, Facebook and LinkedIn, as well as by email. And all of that information, how to contact us, will be on the show notes pages for the show. And the show notes pages are always going to be located at profitwithlaw.com/ and then the episode number of the show. So this one would be /001. Hopefully you'll go and rate and review the show. The other thing that you can do is you can share the episode. If you have an episode that you really enjoyed and you got value from it, please feel free to just take that show and share it with somebody that you feel would get value out of it. You could share it on social media for sure. That would be a wonderful way to help us spread the word. But even if you share it with just one person, the ripple effect of people sharing it with each other will really allow us to reach a broader audience and allow us to impact more people. And that's really what we're after. And finally, to continue the conversation that we're having here on the show, you can definitely go over to our pages on Facebook and LinkedIn. As well, we have a Facebook group and a LinkedIn group that other attorneys are in. And there's always lots of value in there and collaboration available. And we'd love to see you join there. The Facebook group's name is Become a Profitable Law Firm. And the LinkedIn group is the American Law Network, Growing Your Law Practice. Thank you so much for tuning in to our inaugural episode. I really appreciate you being here and taking a listen to our stuff. But again, please listen to episode 2 is going to be the backstory of the show, and episode 3 is going to be the first show that has some real content that you can sink your teeth into as a law firm owner. So hopefully you want to hear the backstory, you'll probably listen to episode 2, and then episode 3 is where you'll first be able to see whether or not you like the show for yourself. So I hope that you listen to that episode and let us know if there's anything specific that you would like to hear. We're always open to content ideas and can't wait to hear from you. Take care and have a wonderful day. Have you been enjoying the show? We sure hope so. To make sure you never miss an episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button in your podcast player app. Next week, we will be back with more valuable resources and ideas on how to break the mold and take your law firm to the next level.